Hello everybody and welcome to another video. You join us on a late summer's afternoon where we ventured to North Staffordshire to have a look at 4 of the Harecastle Tunnels. Now, for the discerning canal boat enthusiast, you'll know about the Harecastle Tunnel, the 4th longest navigable canal tunnel standing at 2.4 kilometres. You might even know of the original tunnel to its immediate west. And then of course, for the railway enthusiast, you'll probably know of the 3 Harecastle tunnels built immediately above the canal tunnels in 1848. For reference, we're going to call these North, Middle and South. But for the meantime, you join us back in the video where we are venturing to the southern portals of the canal tunnels. So in 1770, I think 1770 to 1771, they built a tunnel. They built their Harecastle Tunnel, the Canal Tunnel, through the hillside up ahead of us. And at the time it was so busy and so successful, they decided that it was such a logjam of the canal, because obviously it's a very single small bore, that they should build another tunnel. So I believe 1820s-ish, 1826, they built the second tunnel. Come the railways, and in 1848, a couple of decades after the second canal tunnel was built, the railways deemed that there was advantage for them to go straight north here, similar to the canals, and they built a railway tunnel near on top of the canal tunnels that already existed. Then come the electrification, they obviously needed to put overhead cables in, and it was deemed the 2 tunnels, the Harecastle Tunnel, were not suitable for electrification. So in other words, they were too small, perhaps they couldn't be bored even wider, and it meant that a semicircular bypass, if you wish to call it, was required. Okay, so let's give this some geographical context using the 3D feature on Google Maps, which is just fantastic. So first up, this is where we are, and we're walking now north towards the southern portals of the canals. And if you look on the left hand side, you'll see the original Brindley 1777 canal portal, and the newer 1824-1827 portal here now, which is still in use today. So what we're looking at as well is this section just here on the left, which is the old track bed, which headed north through here, up underneath a bridge there, into the trees, and if you look closely, you'll now see the southern portal of the southern Harecastle Tunnel, which stood at 1,776 yards. So let's flick to side-by-side maps and look at that again. So you'll see over here on the left the 2 canal southern portals, and you'll see the dotted lines which marks the exact straight line route that the portals took. So on top of that, you'll see the railway where we just were, that went over the top now of the original canal alignment, and also cited as a reason why this closed in 1914, owing to the rattling of the tunnel with the trains directly above it. So head just further north and you'll see the portal there, the southern portal of the Harecastle Railway Tunnel, the southern one, which we just saw on the Google Maps. So now you'll see on this map 3 tunnels. So canal, railway, canal. So head north and they head in a straight line for 1.7 kilometres until the first, or the southern railway tunnel, comes out here. And then it heads slightly to the right over the newer of the canal tunnels. The canal tunnels themselves carry on heading in the exact straight line up here, whilst the tunnel goes into this cutting and then to the middle tunnel, which I believe was 180 yards, comes out of the tunnel and carries on and goes into a 3rd Harecastle Tunnel, which is a northern at 130 yards. And you'll see on the left hand side here the exact point where the Harecastle Canal Tunnels came out into the open. You'll see that after the electrification and this line was rerouted, this obviously was ripped up, the original railway route, and here is the new railway route from the 60s onwards, and obviously that went in the crescent shape around here, past the reservoir, up to here and into another new tunnel just there. Okay, so that's the 3D map, Google Maps, and side-by-side view of exactly where we are. You join us now back at the southern portals of the canal tunnels before we then head up to this area here to have an explore of the old cutting and potentially see the southern and the middle tunnels. down there you'll see where we were with the original James Brindley tunnel. Now the trackbed went almost immediately over the top of that tunnel, so it was only like 5-10 meters I reckon. Again, we'll look at this properly and research this properly, but only just above it, and it went on for another 200 meters before it went into its own railway tunnel. We can't really get up there and explore. We had a quick look and there was well, there's a number of people around there and it's a private driveway, so we can't really get close to that. We're not overly fussed because we think we'll be able to get some better footage from the middle of the two tunnels further on, a mile further on. Right, so Harecastle Tunnel, the first one, the 1 mile long tunnel, 1,700 yards. That's the northern portal. Hopefully got a good few pickies. We're now going to take a very short walk, probably 200 yards to the next tunnel. Not quite well as boarded up as that one, but certainly fenced, but not as boarded. So hopefully we'll get some nice pictures inside, which is generally what we aim to do, as we said, and as we always say. We're not urban explorers. We like to take photographs and have a look and just discuss some of the history. So you won't see us climbing in things, breaking fences, or anything as such. Right, Rebecca?
Not really our thing.
Not really our thing, but
Don't
we just no, we like looking at the architecture. And
speaking of architecture, that last tunnel,
it's pretty
all the way
amazing.
around the outside edge, I think it is on this one as well, the pattern of the stonework all around the edge is like completely different. It is on this one as well. It's more like sun's rays.
Yeah. So halfway between the two tunnels, yeah, probably maybe 2/3 towards the longer of the two, is this kind of recessed area where there's all this old brickwork. So there's obviously an old a building of some sort here, and we're assuming like a platelayer's hut or something like that. Again, this was a very early railway, 1848. My guess is platelayer's hut, track maintenance sort of building. Would be really important here. Access to both tunnels in between the two. Two Harecastle Tunnels ticked. What fascinates me is right underneath us now is two more tunnels. And yes, we probably discussed this at the start, back at the actual Canal tunnels start, which were built, what, 1770s and 1820s respectively. But yeah, so below us now, two canal tunnels, one used and one active, and one obviously not used. But yeah, for the time being, I think we're probably done for this video. It's probably a shorter video. Two railway Harecastle tunnels,
with a bit of canal.
With a bit of canal thrown in for good measure too. We'll try and give you a bit more information from home than what we have done from just talking here. But yeah, fascinating stuff here. As ever, thanks for watching.